Corey McClary is a United States veteran, a Citadel graduate, a Goose Creek resident, and now a candidate for Goose Creek City Council. He talks to me about the issues one-on-one for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Corey McClary, welcome to
Yes,
Quintin's
sir.
Close-Ups.
Hey, Q. Listen, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. Everybody knows you, and I think it's a complete honor just to be here. So thank you for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it greatly. And, I'm bringing you on Quintin's Close-Ups because obviously you are a United States Army veteran. You're a Citadel
Yes, sir.
grad, a
Yes, sir.
proud resident of Goose Creek. And now, of course, after being on Goose Creek City Council for many years, you want to return now, obviously, to become a Goose Creek City Council member to tackle a
Right.
host of issues in the city. So tell me, Corey, why Goose Creek City Council? Why again?
I can tell you like this, Quentin. Goose Creek is the heart and soul of the Low Country, so we like to say. And I've raised all of my children here. My bride and I have been married over 20 years, and we've been here raising our kids, and then we're invested into our community. And of course, a few years ago, Goose Creek was ranked in the state of South Carolina as the #1 place in South Carolina to raise a family. And so my vision and my goal and my desire and my motivation is to see that Goose Creek retains that honor, because I don't think there's a greater honor that a city can have than to be the best place to raise a family.
As you know, Corey, a lot of people want to raise their families in Goose Creek, and more people are actually moving to Goose Creek as we talk right now.
Absolutely.
So, what is the state of Goose Creek from your perspective?
I think when you talk about Goose Creek, you have to talk about our region. Goose Creek is in Berkeley County, of course. Berkeley County is one of the fastest growing counties, not just in the state of South Carolina, but in the United States, in the country. We're 40th in growth. The state of South Carolina is 4th as far as fastest growing state in the country. So we have a lot of attention here that's coming right here to Berkeley County, coming right here. And inside Berkeley County, the largest city in Berkeley County is Goose Creek, with 50,000 residents, over 50,000 residents. So the state of Goose Creek is that, just like our region, it's exploding. But I believe that we have such natural resources here. We have incredible people here, which is I think is our greatest asset. And I think that the future is bright for the city of Goose Creek. The creek is rising.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. I know a lot of great people there, including yourself. So, as you know, this region is growing. But when it comes to Goose Creek, it's obviously growing by the day. 50,000 residents living there currently.
Sure.
How then do you grow Goose Creek with smart growth?
Smart growth is you have to know that growth should pay for itself. You do that by balancing out the commercial, not just with the residential, but you also have commercial and industrial.
Right.
I work for Berkeley County Economic Development, so I'm definitely that's a vein that I flow in as far as seeing the benefits of having industrial properties in your community. These industrial properties pay a considerable amount of taxes, and they require very little services. So it's a benefit for our residents. A lot of people think that rooftops bring they pay for things, but it really doesn't. So we have to be smart with how we balance with our commercial and as well as our industrial properties and investments.
Okay, what is the current tax base for the city of Goose Creek?
We actually have some of the lowest taxes at millage rates in the county right now. Berkeley County in itself has the lowest taxes in the state, and Goose Creek actually have some of the lowest millage rates in the county. So, and you can only do that because you have a offset of commercial, as I said before, commercial as well as industrial properties and investments in your community. Right. That's the way that you can offset those things. And as a city, we have to strategically use our resources to attract even more of those and to help balance out with the residential growth.
Okay, the residential growth. So where do you see those projections in the next 5 to 10 years for Goose Creek?
Goose Creek is going to continue to grow. It's going to grow into such a pace that we're trying to get ahead of the curve. So we're being proactive. We like to say that we try to be involved with the growth and not just watching it grow and just not having anything to do with it. This we hate to be in the reactive side. So what we do is we engage with our developers, we engage with our citizens, we engage with our local governments, and it's important to recognize that Goose Creek is not in a vacuum. So what happens in North Charleston impacts us. What happens in Somerville impacts us. What happens in Monk's Corner impacts us. What happens in Hanahan impacts us, and vice versa. So what we try to do is continue to be a regional leader in our region, and also help mitigate some of those challenges that all of us face as a region.
So, what exactly are those regional challenges?
Well, Quintin, that's a good question. You got to realize that homelessness does not care where the city lines or municipal lines are. Crime does not care where the municipal lines are. Growth does not care. They do not care where the municipal lines are. A lot of different challenges that we face. Transportation. When you're talking about that, and you're talking also about like the housing crisis that we have with the amount of that it costs, ridiculous amounts of the cost with housing and rent prices. None of that matters. They don't even care. Those challenges don't care where you are. Those are challenges that we are facing all regionally, in Berkeley County, and also in the Tri-County area. And so part of what our responsibility is to make sure that we address those not only as Goose Creek but also as a leader in our Tri-County.
Let me start off obviously with housing. Now, how many homes have been actually built at a fairly consistent rate in the city of Goose Creek?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, we have multiple, they would call mega developments that are happening.
Right.
One of them being Carnes Crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in Carnes. I believe that we're right at maybe 1,200 homes, maybe 12 to 1,700 homes. I don't think it's 2,000 yet,
Wow.
but it's the build out. I believe is supposed to be at least about 5,000 homes.
Yes, sir.
So they're out there in Carnes, and that whole area between Carnes and Nexton and Cane Bay.
There we are.
It's definitely growing. So we're ahead of the curve. A lot of those building developments have been agreed upon and came to fruition many years ago. And so now you're just starting to see the manifestation of it. But we are, like I said, the city of Goose Creek is very, very intentional about being in the driver's seat when it comes down to new developments and things of that nature.
Okay, you talk about Carnes, Crossroads, and Cane Bay, and obviously Nexton, which are hotspots right now here in the Low Country.
Correct.
Where do you see new development taking place in Goose Creek with all of this growth that's coming?
Well, there are little pockets here and there that are happening, but like I said, we're requiring, if getting back on council would allow us to be at the table so that we can actually be part of the development. So a lot of these developers that come in, they want to be community partners. They want to partner with the city. They don't want to come in and a lot of them don't want to just come in and just build and just leave without because their reputation and things of that nature. So the city has done a great job in being a responsible partner by requiring certain things that developers normally would not do. But they have legal rights to not do it. But they just want the city is just coming to them to ask them, like, can you do this? We're going to require this. We're going to need you to do this. And for the most part, most developers will agree to that when the city is coming to them, which allows us to make even more of a standard for the city of Goose Creek.
How do you define responsible development, man?
A responsible development is one that I would define it as development that helps pay for itself. One that you can see benefits that the city can and its residents can also benefit from. That all the residents can benefit from. I'm right now. I'm out. We were out in the community today. Knocking on doors, trying for this upcoming election, and we were more concerned. The concerns I've heard have been just about our parks
Mm.
and things of green space. And sometimes they would talk about some of the developments that we're talking about. But most of our citizens are concerned, as I am, that making sure that when our developments are happening, that they are going to benefit all of the families of our city. I would say the founder of the Families First movement, which for my campaign, which basically is just making sure that your city government um, keeps you and your family as the cornerstone of all of its decisions. So that includes our development. So I'm all about our parks. I'm all about our quality of life and making it better for everyone.
And I want to get back to that in just a second. So
Sure.
let me just ask you this then. Okay, do you need sidewalks from these developers?
Yes, it would be nice. It would be nice. It would be very nice to have required sidewalks, and in certain spaces, um, we can kind of leverage that. But other times, it's you got to keep in mind that sometimes it's not required
No.
from the developer's point of view with property rights, and
Right.
some people don't want to. When if I said, hey, let's go make some sidewalks down here, they're individual property rights that in the state of South Carolina, people have every right to their property. So if they don't want to give up the right of way, or if they don't want to give that piece of their property to build a sidewalk, it's usually that's a challenge. So it's going to require, and believe you me, sidewalks are very expensive. So, but should we have them? Yes. Should we require new development to have them? Yes. We can negotiate those things with developers as we come along. Like I said, it's always going to be about the families first, and making sure that everything that happens is going to benefit all the families of our city.
And when you talk about sidewalks, obviously you talk about parks and green space. So,
Sure.
how many parks do you need right now, and where can you put additional green space in the city?
Yeah, it's our parks are we have like right now I'm sitting right now in John McCants Park, a proud park right here in the Boulder Bluff area.
Huh.
It is a beautiful park. Have the dog park over here. We have playground back there, a lot of green space. For me, you can never have too much green space, right? You can't have too much. I think that this adds to the quality of our city. It makes our city more attractive. It makes it more peaceful for our residents, and I believe that we're even going to have like a living, like a food garden, like food forest that's
Yes.
going to happen here in the city of Goose Creek, which is I think is it's an incredible initiative that the city is partnering with our residents to do. So um, anywhere we can have a park for me is good, even if it's just a passive park
Hmm.
or it's just some green space, because we know that this our county is a beautiful county. Our city is a beautiful city. We happen to be blessed enough to live in a gorgeous part of the country and a gorgeous part of the state. So we're just very thankful and grateful.
Corey, do you, with all these people coming to the Low Country, I mean, the peninsula is filled. North Charleston's about to
Yeah,
be filled. Folly Beach, Mount
right,
Pleasant, Mounts Corner,
right.
Hanahan, Goose Creek, Somerville. Do you see most of those rural areas now be turning over to urban areas in the future?
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully that's not the case. A lot of our and even my friends and colleagues out there in the St. Stephen area
Oh yeah,
and Cross area,
absolutely.
they are not wanting that. They don't want to be urban areas, which I understand and I agree with. I think that we should preserve. There should be some preservation of our green spaces in our rural areas, because there's a culture there. There's a character there that I think that is something that needs to be not only cherished, but also something that should be going to the next generation. There's a value in having those spaces. Berkeley County right now is 40% of Berkeley County right now is under conservation easement. So you have the largest county in the state, with larger than the state of Rhode Island, with 40% of it in conservation easement. So, and trying to grow more. So we have great natural resources here, and I would not want to see our rural areas succumb to to the urban sprawl. There should be some things in place to help protect that.
How do you protect these residents that are living in Goose Creek now from
Mhm.
being pushed out by new people coming in and new development and housing prices?
Right. Yeah. That's one, and that's Quentin. That's a very good question. That's one that we're all challenged. The challenge that we all having. in the Tri-County area. All of our municipalities, all of our the counties are dealing with the same issue. Like I was referring to that earlier. Um, these are why we have collaborations. This is why the BCD COG and other the CRDA and all these other organizations are in existence to help facilitate conversations about how we can mitigate some of those challenges. Because these are challenges, like I said, they don't care where the county line is. We can help by putting our leverage when it comes down to helping our residents. When it comes down to affordable housing, making sure that we are using what we can, our resources that we can, to help our residents and citizens that need that assistance, and also bringing awareness to the fact that this is a crisis. This is a crisis not only here in Goose Creek, but also, like I said, in the Tri-County area. And together, that's the only way that we're able to address this situation. Because in Charleston, like you said, it's busting at the seams, and the prices are way up high. And then if we don't all address that together, they'll continue to move to other places, continue to move to places, and continue to move to other places, and we'll have the same issue there that they have in Charleston. So together, I think we need to do that one Berkeley.
Oh yes, and I see a lot of areas, Holly Hill and all those places are
Correct.
getting developed right now, which have been ruled for years. But let me ask you one last question, Corey, because I know you have to
Sure.
run. But you obviously you talk about another issue that's been going on in most of these municipalities are trying to address, and that is housing. You mentioned affordable
Correct.
housing, but
Sure.
what is it? What does Goose Creek actually need? Do you need affordable housing? Do you need attainable housing, or is it workforce
Sure.
housing?
Yes, it's all of the above.
Hmm.
Workforce housing, attainable housing, affordable housing. We see that as a necessity for our first responders, for our teachers, for our just our regular workforce. If you want to, one thing we try to do here in the city is to try to make sure that people can live here, play here, work here. Um, if you want to stop the traffic, you want to address some of the traffic that concerns that we have. We have over 110,000 cars that come through Goose Creek every day. 110,000 cars that fly through Goose Creek, or not fly. Let me fix that. But they come through Goose Creek every day, and those cars are people that are leaving one area of the county to go to another area of the county to go to work.
Yes.
And we want to try to keep those people here, and that can help alleviate some of the traffic. So all we're trying to do is to make sure that we provide with our new development, you provide a livable, not only a livable wage for our workers, but also a housing that everybody can afford, so they can stay here, work here, and play here in our fabulous city.
What type of jobs does Goose Creek actually need for the future to keep up with this growth?
Oh, it's that's my bread and butter there with the
Oh
'cause I'm
yeah,
the workforce
yeah,
development
right.
manager for Berkeley County Economic Development. But yes, we need jobs that any type of STEM job.
Mm.
We need jobs that of course, in education. We need jobs as entrepreneurs. We need because we believe that the small business is the backbone of our local economy. So we believe that any type of innovative jobs, and we're talking about bringing resources here, bringing industries here to Goose Creek, where they can have high paying jobs that allow people to not only be trained, but be qualified for these jobs. We can help with all of that, and the city should be a partner in this. The city should be helping out in making sure that our residents have those jobs, and making sure that our residents are the ones that receive those jobs, and that they can stay here, work here, and play here.
What current private public partnerships would be ideal for that?
Well, for me personally, I think that any partnership that goes beyond the scope of what the city does. The city right now, we are responsible for water, fire, police, recreation, and sanitation. But we can do more. There are several nonprofits out there that are experts in doing the services and providing those services for our uh, for our residents and for our communities. And I believe that the city can do more in partnering with them to make sure that not only do we maximize their efforts, but we do what we can to help maximize the resources for our citizens and our residents and our communities in our city.
And lastly, you mentioned earlier in the interview about obviously properties that are in Goose Creek, commercial, residential, and of course industrial.
Hmm.
How many of those
Hmm.
properties do you all have now that can help alleviate with this situation with
Oh
economic
wow.
development?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have the Crowfield Business Park, or the Crowfield Corporate Park, right at
Yeah,
the end of over there by Stratford over there.
sure.
That is prime real estate. It is open. We're open for business here in Berkeley County, but it also in the city of Goose Creek, you can bring in an industry partner that can use that facility. That we have a lot of the things are already in there. They would not have to worry about a workforce because of the vicinity of the workforce and the labor shed that goes from Goose Creek on out. And
Mm.
so you have thousands of workers that will be eligible to work there. And so we just encourage any industry partner that are out there that are looking for a great place to have a headquarters, or a great place to have a manufacturing spot, or anything like that, anything industry related, that the city of Goose Creek is open. The city of Goose Creek is ready. Berkeley County is ready to help facilitate that transaction. And we're just excited about what's happening in Goose Creek, and we're excited about the opportunities that are going to be facing us. Um, like I said earlier, we're trying to be proactive and not reactive. And I think that the city of Goose Creek is going to continue to be a leader in the Low Country.
Corey McClary, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thanks, Q. I really appreciate you, brother.
Oh, you're
Thanks for all your
welcome.
hard work.
Oh, thank you.